Uber is seeking a stock valuation of $90 billion amidst a lot of controversy and a lot of resistance. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and we're just going to jump right into this one. Uber will reportedly seek up to $90 billion valuation in IPO. That's about $30 billion less than what the company was projected to be worth. And I have no doubt it's because the Lyft stock, it came, it popped, it dropped. And really, it's sinking at this point. So much so that when Uber launches their IPO, they are looking to sell shares between $45 and $50. Lyft opened up at $72, and on day one, the shares immediately went up to like $87. It was a good first day. Now, at least at the time of this recording, it's dropped to $56. It has gone up a couple times, but it's been going up slowly and then dropping more. So I suspect in a couple weeks, it's going to be like $44, $50. And so maybe that's what Uber is thinking here when they're charging $44 to $50. Maybe they're thinking, okay, well, we saw that Lyft was overpriced. We don't want to overprice ourselves. Maybe if we price ourselves at this much money, we can, kind of stave off like some of the controversy, because it seems like that's like the area where it's supposed to be. Also, by pricing it at $44 to $50, they can, issue more shares if they want. It's aiming to raise $8 to $10 billion in the offering. This would value the company between $80 billion and $90 billion, Bloomberg reports. Previous reports had pegged Uber's valuation at around $120 billion. Still, that valuation is higher than its last valuation of $76 billion following a funding round. So, yeah, that's what it is. They're expected to trade on the New York Stock Exchange in May. So, okay, so that's where we're going to start. Here's the thing. Uber is definitely facing an uphill battle with this IPO for a couple of reasons. First of all, you have a lot of investors just wondering, can they ever make money? And this article, which you do have to pay to read, gives a very long and very detailed history of the taxi industry, how they suffered, and basically how Uber, as you can see in this picture right here, are no different than the horse and carriage, in the sense that they will lose money until there is some regulation to control how many rides are on the road. At least that's in theory. And then they have another problem. They have, well, let's get rid of this ad real quick. I love when they do that. The drivers themselves. Why not us? Uber Drivers Unite as executives prepare to profit from IPO. And this is, yes, partly what the protests on May 8th is going to be about, and what the future protests are going to be about. I hate it when there's like a little video window there that you just can't close, but oh well. I guess we're just going to have to like ignore that one. So, and here it is. They're talking about all these, of course, how the drivers built this company, how they made Uber what they are, and how Uber is not rewarding the drivers at all. I know some people say, well, but they're giving the appreciation bonus, which, yeah, they're giving the appreciation bonus to some people, so long as they don't pick you to come up with a reason to not give you it. I know someone who actually is getting the $20,000 bonus. I will be very interested to see if Uber actually pays that out, but we'll see. And this article, of course, talks about how, I love how it opens here. Mustafa Macklin, 35, is already nostalgic about the good old days of driving for Uber. 5 years ago, snaking across the freeway in suburban streets of Los Angeles, he estimates he made roughly $50 an hour working 40 hours a week. Now that figure is around $26 an hour, and he works about 75. Much of that money goes back home to his family in Egypt. I will point out that is actually an irrelevant topic when you talk about how much money drivers are making. What you do with your money isn't that important, except in the sense that if you can't afford basic necessities. Just mentioning that. Then 3 years ago, he says he was forced to downsize his living conditions, in part due to the financial strain. While he once had his own room, he now lives with two others in one bedroom. Having completed 9,000 rides for Uber, MacLad is eligible for a $500 bonus when Uber, which recently filed a prospectus for its IPO, goes public. And while these bonuses, which go up as much as 10,000, are meant to be a nod to drivers who have complained about pay, it's done little to address their concerns. And there are many stories like this. Heck, even the BBC is talking about how the drivers are getting screwed in all of this, how they're absolutely getting screwed. And you know, I've gotten some flack from several people, some of whom you might know, some of whom you probably won't know. I don't want to name names per se, who've actually, and several people, it's not just one, several people said drivers really need to just appreciate what they've got. Uber didn't have to give them a $500 bonus. They weren't required to, so they should just be grateful. It's free money. Like, are they going to give the money away? If they don't want it, just give it away. No, they're not going to give it away because they want the money. And one of the things that some people are not seeing about all this is, like, you can keep the money because you need it and still find it to be an insult and that Uber didn't give enough. The two are not mutually exclusive. Uber's bonuses amounted to like 4 cents a ride, roughly. And that's not Uber's money. That's our money. That's our company in a sense. We built that company. Without us, there's no company. And without us, there's still no company. It's just a lot of drivers, frankly, don't realize that, to be perfectly frank. And they don't value themselves enough to not drive for the company. And yet, Uber will be aiming to receive 8 to 10 billion in offering and value themselves around 80 to 90 billion dollars, while the drivers get as little as $100 a driver. And in some cases, they don't, actually many cases, myself included, by the way, they're going to get absolutely nothing. You know, I was talking to my dad, and my dad like kind of made a comment, and we laughed at the little inside joke where he was like, boy, Kevin, you can sure pick them. First Amazon and now Uber. Like, is there any company you work for that doesn't screw you? And he's like, because YouTube doesn't screw you, right? And it's like, well, actually, there's a whole demonetization thing. So how many companies have I worked with where their core business model is built on screwing people? Now, I know you might, again, people are going to say with Amazon, like, well, they're not screwing the customer. No, they're screwing the third-party sellers, though. You know, I mean, I'm going to have to share the story sometime, exactly what Amazon did to me that specifically made me realize that to buy from this company, I'm pretty much convinced you have no soul at that point. I might have to share that story someday. But let's just say, if you have to deal with Amazon as a company, like as a business associate and not as a customer, Amazon is the ugliest company I've dealt with until Uber came along. And Uber has since toppled them. I guess we're getting a little off topic at this point. I've been told that I talk too much. This is probably one of those examples because really the point was made 5 minutes ago. Uber, the whole point of the video, Uber is going to be selling their shares at $44 to $50 a share. In my personal, non-legal, non-accounting, because I'm not an accountant opinion, that's overpriced and not worth it. My opinion, personally. But I would love to know what you guys think. Are any of you going to buy the Uber stock, or are you going to join the protest on May 8th? Are you going to do both? I guess in a sense you can do both if you want. Have any more people realized they're not getting their bonus? I know someone who just had an issue with the green light hub where they temporarily deactivated him, and there's a little bit of question whether or not he's going to get his bonus now. Well, I would love to know one way or the other. So comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly and get access to my exclusive Patrons only blog. And if you want to save money on gas, because gas prices are rising, check out the Get Upside app. It's totally free, but you will get cash back on purchases when you go to the pump. Cashback purchases. So that helps everyone. Also, check out the Apptrepreneur Vlogs channel. It's fairly new, but we're adding new content every week. And if you want to talk to me or anyone else, check out the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And yeah, you got to be approved, but we will most likely approve you. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.